as that out of the way, please, the 10 people who are in here, if you like it so far, please give a thumbs up, because you're not going to like the video for a whole lot longer, because there be mask controversies ahead. There be mask controversies. And here's the thing. And the last topic after this will be a fun topic, and then we'll kind of call it a day. And if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat, by the way. But the masks have become a real big pain, to be perfectly blunt. And look, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what people's problem with it is sometimes. I mean, yeah, you get excuses like, oh, I can't breathe, oh, it's annoying, oh, it won't prevent me from getting it. But you know what, scientifically speaking, and most scientists agree with this. There are some that don't, but like global warming, people who believe that, or scientists that believe that global warming isn't a real thing, they're in very small numbers compared to the people who believe that global warming is a problem. And these scientists are in a very low number of scientists who believe that masks do help. And we're starting to see cases spike again because we're reopening. There's been protests, and it's just the cases are spiking. And they're spiking enough, at least in California, where Governor Gavin Newsom has ordered residents to wear face coverings in most public spaces. And this is going to be interesting because I have some people who watch this channel, some people who've been watching for years, by the way, who I like, and I just happen to disagree with them on this, who have actually said they will go out of their way to not patronize places that will force them to wear a mask because they don't believe in it. And I think that's going to be like a very short list of places you can go to. But what happens now when the entire state mandates it? We're not going to read this whole article, but we will look at the key points. So here's the key points. California Governor Gavin Newsom issued a statewide order on Thursday requiring people to wear a face mask covering in most indoor settings and outside when maintaining a physical distance from others is not feasible. Newsom has said that the order was necessary because too many people have started to venture on the public with their faces uncovered, and I can attest to that. Now, here's the thing. The requirement does not pertain to people who may be eating at a restaurant while maintaining a 6-foot distance, or for those who are engaged in recreational activities like swimming, hiking, running, and biking. And yes, you can walk with a mask. That's fine. Running with a mask, probably not the safest idea in the world. And there's other exceptions, like if you speak sign language, and reading the lips might be really important to understand what's being said, you don't have to necessarily wear a mask. Or if you're 2 years old, don't have to wear a mask. Or if you have breathing problems, which, all of a sudden everyone has breathing problems once they have to wear a mask, then you can not wear a mask. Although, that said, he did say something about how the doctors have to confirm this to be real. You just can't walk up to someone and say, I have breathing problems, therefore I'm not wearing a mask. Because then the next thing you need to do is, well, you need to stand away from me then. Or, I'm speaking figuratively, of course. Which does make me wonder, what does the future of this look like? Do we have to start, giving, cards to people? How, some people have, medical cards, they can, to explain away something on why they're not doing it because they have a medical condition? Are people going to have to now go to their doctors, and the doctor has to determine that, yes, wearing a mask would be dangerous for you, therefore, I am giving you this card. So if someone harasses you at a restaurant or a movie theater or Target, pull out the card, show it to them, and let them be on the way. Maybe that's what needs to happen. I don't know. But the bottom line is, if you're in California and you live by this philosophy of, I'm not going to go anywhere that forces me to wear a mask, and I'm an Uber and Postmates driver, and I'm not going to wear a mask, I don't care what they say, guess what? Yes, you are. Or you're going to stay home. Because Gavin Newsom has now officially said to wear the face coverings. Now, do I agree with this? Believe it or not really. That might surprise you because I do believe in the masks. I wear my mask. I don't think it's that big a deal, and I think you're selfish if you're not wearing the mask. But I do think there is a fine line between the governor saying everyone blanket has to wear it. You can't legislate people to do the right thing And I do, to a certain extent, not agree with this. I do, to a certain extent, not agree with this. If you don't want to wear your mask, hey, keep your distance. We'll be fine, I suppose. But here's what I think this will require, though. I would personally have done it like this if I were the governor. The masks are strongly recommended. And if you are not going to wear a mask, that is your legal right to do that, but you must keep your distance. And if you are not keeping your distance, and if you're making people uncomfortable, you are up to be arrested. Because it is a pandemic, we know it's out there, and people have politely asked you, stay back. If you're wearing a mask, you can get a little closer. So this is a complicated matter, but here's why we're talking about it here. It's because this has been the biggest debate about the gig economy since this pandemic started. When it's time to go back to living life, are you going to wear a mask or not? And many people say, freedom, that's why I'm not wearing the mask. I say, shut up, that's not freedom. But you know what? It kind of is freedom. So I get upset that people won't wear the mask, but I understand it. You don't want to wear it. It's technically your right not to wear it, but I also think it's not your right to get people sick or to make them uncomfortable. So you need to stand back. And he's kind of worded as much like, basically, if, you are, because here's where it says, they're requiring people to wear a face mask covering in most indoor settings and outside when maintaining a physical distance from others is not feasible. So basically, if you can keep your distance, then you don't have to wear your mask. That means, though, that if you're doing rideshare in California, if you're doing food delivery in California, guess what? You're wearing the mask. There's no distancing yourself from people. Unless you have an SUV and you're getting one or two people and they're sitting way in the back, you don't have any distance from people. So, look, I know that, and there's actually one question. I normally save the questions for after the show, but I'm gonna mention this now because Rideshare Source Driver actually brought up an interesting point. He asks, can you sue if someone without masks gets closer that 6 feet distance between him and you? That's a very, very good question. That's a very good question because during a pandemic, that's a good question. Because here's the thing. If someone will get close to you and they're not wearing a mask, I don't know. A lawyer's going to have to decide that one. But I could definitely see a negligence case being made there. Now, he also asked, what about sneezing in wind or spitting? Well, that's why you wear the mask. That's why you should probably wear the mask anyway, because of sneezing, wind, or spitting. But I would not be too surprised if someone at some point sue someone for standing too close to them. And it can't just be anyone. It can't be like someone accidentally walks up to someone and you turn around and say, hey, dude, can you keep your distance? And they're like, oh, man, I'm sorry. And they walk back. I don't think you could sue over that. But if you're in a public place and someone does not appear to be very hygienic and they get within an inch of you and they're not wearing a mask, you turn around, you ask them to step back and they say, make me, there might be a case there during a pandemic. Who knows? Because the CDC guidelines are pretty clear about keeping distance. Now, again, I'm not a lawyer. But here's something to consider. People have successfully sued smokers for blowing smoke in their faces and claiming that the smokers were negligent because they told the smokers they had an allergy to smoke and they told them not to smoke around them, and the people did not care, and they have successfully sued them. So, who knows? It will be very, very interesting. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into that anymore. I'm sure we will discuss it. Oh, I lost one of my likes. What do you know? I lost one of my likes because of this one. Darn it. Oh, well, what can I say? I'd love to know what all of you think regardless. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.